A VC asks you to build an AI career coaching company. What is it?
A venture capitalist is not asking you for a feature. Get that straight before you say a word because it reframes everything. You frame this as a company. The wedge you start with, the moat that keeps you alive, how you make money, and only then the AI product underneath it all. The weak answer describes a chatbot that gives career advice. The strong answer describes a business with a defensible entry and a reason a bigger player cannot just copy it next quarter. So today is not a product design question wearing a business hat. It is genuinely a business question, and the AI is the engine, not the pitch. What is Google testing with a venture capital prompt? Whether you can think like a founder for 10 minutes. Do you understand that advice alone is not defensible and that any model can generate career tips, so a pure GPT wrapper is dead on arrival? Do you reach for a wedge instead of trying to serve everyone? And can you name a real moat, one that compounds? By the end of this, you will have a four-part frame, wedge, moat, money, model that works for any question where an investor asks you to build something. Let us start with the first 60 seconds. An investor wants three things: a big market, a defensible entry, and a path to real revenue. So confirm what career coaching even means and pick a beachhead because you never start by serving everyone. Talk about the market for a second. Human career coaches are expensive and scarce, so AI can serve the enormous underserved middle, the people who would genuinely benefit from a coach but could never afford one. That is the market thesis. Then plant your flag. State that you will pick one wedge, name the moat, then describe the product. Structuring your answer that way, upfront, tells the investor-minded interviewer you think in the right order. Moving on to the wedge, you need to be sharp about it. Do not launch an AI coach for your whole career. That is too broad, with no urgency and nothing to grab. Pick a sharp, painful, measurable first job. Resume to job description gap analysis for early career candidates and recent graduates. The user pastes a target job and their resume, and the product tells them exactly which requirements they are missing, which experiences to reframe, and then generates a tailored resume and a prep plan. Look at why this wedge is right. It is painful because job hunting is genuinely miserable. It is frequent enough during a search as they are applying to a lot of roles at once, and the outcome is measurable. Did they get the interview, yes or no? That measurability is gold because it is what feeds the moat. This wedge earns you trust and data before you expand out to interview prep, then salary negotiation, then ongoing career growth. Here is the part an investor is really listening for. Advice is not defensible. Any model can spit out generic career tips, so a pure wrapper dies the moment a bigger player notices the category. Your moat is proprietary outcome data. As users apply and report back, got the interview, got the offer, here is the salary, you learn which advice actually correlates with real outcomes, for which profile against which employer. That labeled outcome loop is something a new entrant simply cannot copy on day one because they do not have the history. And you stack secondary moats on top: employer relationships, real job data, and hiring signals. A trusted brand in a category where trust gates whether anyone acts on your advice at all. And distribution, an integration with the platforms where people already job hunt. But the core moat, the one that compounds, is the outcome data. Now and only now, we discuss the machine learning. Gap analysis is a matching and reasoning problem. You embed the job description and the resume, retrieve the specific missing skills and requirements, and generate concrete, grounded advice tied to real gaps, not generic tips. And you ground every single suggestion in the actual job posting and the real history of the user, so the product does not invent experience the user does not have. That is the same faithfulness guardrail from the enterprise questions, and it matters even more here because advising someone to claim a skill they do not have could cost them the job. Then the outcome data feeds a model that ranks advice by predicted impact on getting the interview for the specific profile of that user. And personalization improves as the outcome loop grows, which is exactly what makes the moat compound over time. The product gets smarter precisely because you have data nobody else has. Let me go deeper on why the outcome data moat actually compounds, because an investor will push on this exact point. Here is the loop. More users apply and report outcomes. So you learn which advice correlates with interviews for which profile against which employer. Better advice means better interview rates for your users. Better interview rates mean word of mouth and more users who generate more outcome data, which makes the advice better still. That is a flywheel, and each turn makes the job of the next competitor harder because they would have to replicate not just your model, but your accumulated history of what actually worked. And there is a second order effect. A sharp founder names. The data gets more valuable at the edges. The generic advice, tailor your resume, anyone has. But for a back-end role at this specific type of mid-size fintech, candidates who reframed their side project as a systems design story got noticeably more callbacks. That is proprietary, specific, and impossible to fake without the outcome loop. The moat is not just that you have data. It is that the useful, specific, monetizable insight lives in the long tail that only volume and time can fill. That is the answer that makes an investor believe you would be defensible in year 3, not just clever in year 1. Now we address the money, because a venture capital firm will not fund a science project. Freemium, free gap analysis to pull people in during the painful search when they are most motivated, and a paid subscription for tailored applications, mock interviews, and ongoing coaching. Consider an outcome-aligned tier where you win when they win, which builds trust and aligns incentives. Then, business to consumer expansion. Sell to universities and boot camps for their students, and to employers for candidate readiness, which conveniently also feeds your employer relationship moat. And say the numbers logic out loud. A coaching subscription at a low monthly price against a market of millions of job seekers is a real business. And your customer acquisition cost is manageable because the pain is acute and the search is time boxed, so people convert fast when they are in the thick of it. Name the risks, because an investor is specifically testing whether you can see your own downside. Trust and accuracy. Bad advice on the career of someone is a real harm and a churn driver. So the outcome loop has to actually validate advice, not just generate it. Cold start. You have zero outcome data on day 1, so you bootstrap with expert authored heuristics and human in the loop review, then let the data take over as it accumulates. And commoditization. If the whole thing is a thin model wrapper, a bigger player copies it in a weekend, which is exactly why the proprietary outcome data and the employer relationships have to be the plan from day 1, not an afterthought you bolt on later. Saying here is how I would get crushed and here is my defense is what makes an investor trust you. Let me make it concrete. You launch it as land the interview. A new graduate pastes a software engineering job post and their resume. The product returns a gap report, missing a named framework, missing a systems design signal, missing a metric-backed project, then a rewritten resume tailored to that exact post, and a 3-day prep plan. The user reports back whether they got the interview, and that single outcome trains the ranker. So the wedge is early career interview conversion. The moat is the outcome data set, linking advice to real interview rates by profile and employer. The monetization is a free gap report and a paid tailored application and mock interview tier. And the first metric that actually matters is interview callback rate for paid users versus their own baseline, because that proves the product causes better outcomes, not just correlates with motivated people. Now, if the interviewer pushes with why will LinkedIn or Indeed not just build this, you are ready. They have distribution, but they do not have your outcome validated advice loop, and their incentive is to keep users applying, not to get users hired and gone. Your incentive alignment is itself part of the moat. Here is what makes them lean in. First, a sharp wedge, resume to job description gap for new graduates instead of the mushy AI coach for everyone. Focus reads as founder thinking. Second, naming the real moat, proprietary outcome data plus employer relationships. Because you understood that advice alone is not defensible and said so out loud. And third, that you brought a monetization model and honest risks, framing the whole thing as a business an investor would actually fund with the AI as the engine underneath, not the entire pitch. That structure, business first, model second, is the thing they are scoring. Now we cover the traps. The first trap is describing a career advice chatbot with no wedge, no moat, and no revenue model, which is what most candidates default to. The second trap is claiming a moat that is not one, saying, our advice is just better. When any model can generate advice, so better advice defends nothing. And the third trap is skipping the cold start and trust risks, because that is precisely what an investor probes to see whether you actually understand the business or you are just pitching optimism. Name your risks before they ask. So let us assemble it. You clarify that an investor wants market, defensibility, and revenue. You pick one sharp wedge, resume to job description gap for new graduates. You name the real moat, proprietary outcome data that compounds, backed by employer relationships and trust. You describe the AI underneath, grounded gap analysis with an outcome ranked model. You lay out freemium plus business to consumer monetization. And you name your own risks honestly. Carry this one line into the room. A 0 to 1 AI company is a wedge plus a moat plus money plus the model. Start narrow, defend with proprietary outcome